You know, there was a guy named Ted Bundy. He was a serial killer, a rapist. On record, they said about 25 women, but they speculated maybe as many as 50. He would rape and bludgeon them to death. It was just a heinous crime that he did. But anyway, he was finally executed. Thank God, he was finally put to death. But man's law on rape, let's take a look at that. You know, man's law is maybe 5 years in prison at the taxpayer's expense. He may serve 3 years and then he's released back into society again to go out and do it all over again. Now let's take a look at God's divine law on rape. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 25. If a man meets a girl in the country who is engaged to be married and then rapes her, the man alone, the one who had sexual relations with her, must die. Okay, this is divine law on rape. You kill the, well, I shouldn't say, okay. You kill him, okay? You kill him. Now let me digress a little bit and say something. These laws were given under a theocracy. That's the rule from the top down. The difference between back then and now is this. Back then, you had nothing that promoted murder, theft, rape. In that society back then, there was nothing that promoted these sins. You understand what I'm saying? Just look at our society today. We promote murder. I mean, look at the favorite sitcoms, you know, CSI, whatever. I can't think of all the names of the programs, but what they're about is a fascination with murder. They said in the latest Rambo movie, the first few minutes, there was like 20 murders taking place within just the first 15 minutes of that movie. Video games that children play that portray, that have you murder, and they even have video games where you rape women in the video game. Yeah, parents, you need to check this stuff out that your children are playing, the video games that your children are playing. If they're R-rated, throw it away. So we live in a society that promotes murder. We live in a society that promotes stealing. Just watch commercials. It's like if you don't have this 4-car garage, this BMW, the latest iPad, the latest iPhone, if you don't have all these gadgets, if you don't have these vacations, if you don't have this car, if you don't have these types of clothing, well, if I don't have it, I'll just go out and take it. I'll just go out and steal it. Yeah, it's a materialistic obsession with things that we have in our. We live in a society that promotes stealing. We live in a society that promotes murder. We live in a society that promotes rape, pornography, internet pornography. You know, 30 years ago, you didn't even have internet pornography. Now, in the privacy of one's home, boys can look at this garbage, and you know, it's a cause. You become what you think about. Okay, there's a monster inside of all of us, and all you got to do is just feed it the wrong kind of material. And if you're feeding your mind that kind of garbage, you can become a Ted Bundy who goes out and rapes and kills. We live in a society that promotes evil. So you might ought to be thankful that we're not living under a theocracy today, where those harsh penalties are executed. But I want to tell you something. A theocracy is coming. It's called the kingdom of God on this earth, and it's going to come at Christ's return. When he returns to this earth, he's going to set up what is called the kingdom of God on this earth, and it will be a theocracy, and it will be a kingdom where these laws that I just went through on murder and rape and stealing will occur.